Alright everyone, DJ32 back again with yet another deck review. This time it's the Bicycle War of Currents deck. And by tomorrow I will try to review even more decks, the Genesis and the Puppet and Kite decks. And I also got some tricks I want to do as well, so if I don't review anything, it'll be tricks. Anyways, this is the Bicycle War of Currents deck. You can see it says Bicycle since 1885 on top. And it says War of Currents playing cards on the bottom. And then you got these bolts of electricity shooting off everywhere. And a pretty nice spade pip that actually has, I'm not sure what that's called, but it's fairly standard pip. Fairly standard spade pip, except for the electricity going through it. And this thing here, which I'll talk more about in a minute. It says War of Currents made in USA on one side and the other. Top says standard size, standard face. The bottom is just standard stuff. And in the back, it shows you that tower again. This is what is on the Ace of Spades. And it's this big tower that has that big shiny silver globe on top, and then it shoots electricity off of it. And then it shows here Nikola Tesla versus I can't read the name, versus Thomas Edison, I said Novus, and AC versus DC, basically. Excuse me. Just slightly losing my voice. And then it says he wants to struggle for power and light, and there's all sorts of information going back, about 100 years. A century ago, really, when they were starting to come out with electricity and AC and DC, and there was actually quite a bit of a battle between these two guys to see which one would be, the better one. But obviously we use both of them in this day and age. And AC is better because DC use batteries, they die, they have to buy new batteries, and blah blah blah. AC is much better. But anyways, and it says warofcurrents.com on the bottom. So warofcurrentscards.com on the bottom. Go to that website if you want to buy them, or I believe the one I don't know if the one that Jack has them yet or not, but I'm sure some of the card shops will have them if they don't already. Then you do get an informational card. It says War of Currents on top, and it's got all sorts of information regarding everything that happened back then, and continues on the other side, and it says warofcurrentscards.com. Then you got a card. It's double-sided as well, and it tells you about some of the people that are represented in the court cards. The Jack of Hearts, Charles Batchelor, who was a inventor and close associate of Thomas Edison, and the early executive of General Electric Company. There's Queen of Hearts is Mary Stilwell, who was the first wife of Thomas Edison. And the Queen of Diamonds is Mina Billy Miller, who was the second wife of Thomas Edison. And I guess the Heart and Diamond code cards represent Thomas Edison. Spade and Club code cards, I guess, represent Nikola Tesla. And it says the Jack of Spades is George Westinghouse, who was the owner of Westinghouse Electric Corporation. And he financed Tesla's dream of alternating current, or AC. Katherine Johnson is the Queen of Spades and is Tesla's wife. A wife of Tesla's close friend and former business partner, Robert Johnson. Apparently he is very close to her. And then the Queen of Clubs is Georgina DeDuca, however you pronounce that, Tesla, who is Nikola Tesla's mother. That's that. The back design looks like this. It's kind of vintage. It looks like a safety back with the bicycles here in the center. And what you see is Nikola Tesla and Thomas Edison in that bicycle wheels. And then there's gears and stuff like that all over it. And it looks pretty nice. It's black and not gold. It's almost a off-white color. It's pretty nice. The faces, the pips are kind of standard, except they do have some customization to them. I'm not even sure how to describe it myself. It's just a bunch of lines On one side, the other side looks like it's got some bolts and whatnot. And they're all like that. And what you will notice as well is you do have a pattern of sorts on the faces. It's not just a standard white finish. It's actually got some pattern to it, a texture if you will, that you can see, and it kind of blends in with the pips. Here's the court cards. They got pictures of the people, and they got these massive pips, and on the pips, inside the pips are actually like pictures of blueprints and other stuff like that relating to the theme. And here's the King of Diamonds. I'm going to zoom out. There we go. And you notice that the indices are custom as well and really big. King of Clubs. Looks like Tesla. Queen of Spades. Jack of Diamonds. Queen of Diamonds. And I'll just try to run through these quickly. Here's your Ace of Spades. It's just like the one on the box with that electrical thing in it and bicycle 808 on top. Here's Playground Company made in USA on the bottom. Fairly standard except for the image, and the indice is custom as well, which I'll show you that a little bit better. Ace of Clubs. Here's a King of Spades. Queen of Clubs. Sorry. King of Hearts. Jack of Clubs. Queen of Hearts. This is kind of pretty. Here's one of the jokers. It says joke in the two corners. You got this statue figure here, which I'll show you on the other one a little bit better. And it says the World's Columbian Exposition. And it talks about something that happened in 1893. So basically it talks about the World Fair in 1893, which celebrated the 400th anniversary of Christopher Columbus' arrival to the New World, and how it had the first Ferris wheel and stuff like that. And they dubbed it later as the White City because of the white stucco buildings and all the street lights and blah blah. And then it says that today on the site of the exposition's electricity building stands a 1/3 replica of Daniel Chester French's Statue of the Republic, which is what you see there. And we'll get into that in a bit. Here's your Jack of Hearts. The other thing you'll notice is in the court cards there's actually all sorts of symbols and details in the background as well, as you can see. Well, actually what you get in there is light bulbs, so that's kind of cool. And yeah, all the court cards have that same thing. I was just noticing that. My bad, I should have noticed it before. And this one is different things, and it says in there June 25th, 18 something. Kind of interesting. And then lastly, the other Joker. It says Joker in the two corners. It says the World's Columbian Exposition, on this red ribbon at Chicago 1893, and that statue, which is kind of cool. That's what you get, and it's a pretty interesting deck. Again, I'm not entirely sure what the finish of stock is because it doesn't say, and I usually don't double check before I do my reviews. I apologize. But to say it handles pretty nice. It's a nice stock and finish. I think it has a magic finish and a standard bicycle stock, just by how it feels. But I'm not entirely 100% sure. I'm sure the website will have more information on it. And this deck, along with the one I reviewed before, the Miscellaneous Goods Company deck were from Kickstarter, and they were successful, obviously, and they're pretty nice. This one I somehow got two, but I only remember ordering one because it's just not. It's not one of my favorite decks. It's a nice deck, but it's not one of my favorites. And let's look at what I think about it. The back design, I like it. It's pretty nice. It's not the nicest back design, but it's a kind of vintage back design. And it's got a lot of details in it and everything. And it's definitely unique and custom. So I'd probably give the back design at least a 3.5 out of 5, if not better. The faces, there is a lot of customization. The Ace of Spades did not have too much customization, but had some. Jokers are custom, obviously, and there's all sorts of informational cards, which is great, because otherwise people will be like, okay, what the heck is this deck all about? I'm not a huge fan of the pips, because there's so many details in there, that there's all these details, and I really don't know what the heck they're supposed to be. It looks like there's a couple of nuts in there, and then there's all sorts of details, and I just really don't know. And then for the court cards, they got these massive pips. Now, as I was saying, for the court cards, they got these massive pips, and well, they look nice, but they're so big that it's ridiculous. They don't even fit in the space, so I don't understand why they made them so big. I would have just made them a little bit small so that they would actually fit in there and be nice. And then also for the court cards, you got actual pictures in there and everything, which is okay, but still not my favorite. Well, I apologize, I'm a little bit lost right now because I was recording this and then I ran out of room on my memory card, went to the computer, checked out some stuff, and I don't remember where I was, so I apologize. But the back design, I think I said it was like, 3.5 or 4 out of 5. The faces, I'd probably only give 3.5, just I'm not humongously in love with them at all. But they're also, not bad. Overall, I'd probably give the deck a 3.5 out of 5. Just it could have been better, I think, in my opinion. That's why I only ordered one, as far as I know. Somehow I got two. They do have a good quality, and they handle nice and everything like that, so that's a plus. They're not very good for Magic, because the court cards are not really... Well, I guess they could be used for Magic, but would you really want to perform Magic with court cards that look like that? I don't think I would. And again, for cardistry, there's probably better decks out there for cardistry. There's definitely better decks out there for Magic. And, well, you could probably... I don't see any reason why you couldn't use them for playing cards. But that's about it, in my opinion. Overall, though, it's not a bad deck. It's definitely got a lot of information on it. I'm not really sure if this is, the best theme for a deck. War of Currents. But it is what it is. If you like it, go to warofcurrentscards.com and check it out. And I will see you next time.